So there may be a few more jumping in, but I'll at least go ahead and introduce myself. Oh, yep, there we go. Admit in. All right, got it. Um, so my name is Tori Thomas. I see a few familiar faces. So thank you guys so much for joining me again. To those of you that are new, thank you so much for being here. We're going to do a lovely stretch session tonight. We're going to relax those muscles. We're going to relax the mind, the body. We're ending winter. I'm feeling spring. So this is kind of a renew and refresh stretch session. So make sure that you've got plenty of space. We're going to do a lot of it actually on the floor tonight. So that's going to be really fun. Grab some water in case you need anything like that as well. If you need like a pillow or something that helps sometimes to sit on or under your back, you're always welcome to grab that. And of course, if you need to keep video on, off, either way is fine with me. And we will get started with that stretch. Oh, I got one more coming in. Perfect. All right, guys. So we're going to go ahead and get started. And we're actually going to start on the ground. So we're going to come on to our bottoms. Our feet are going to be out in front of us. Perfect. All right. Hands are going to go directly behind you, just supporting that back. This is going to be our assessment for tonight. We're going to do windshield wipers. So you're going to bend those knees, heels on the ground. Your feet can be as wide or as narrow as is comfortable. So I'm going to find something that feels a little neutral for me. I'm going to adjust my bum a little bit to get comfortable. Make sure you do the same here. And then all we're going to do is drop our knees side to side. Keep it nice and easy. Don't force anything. We're just going to let gravity pull. We're doing a little bit of internal and external rotation of the hip to get things started. Make sure we take a deep breath here while we're doing it. Y'all keep stretching, keep going. I've got another person to hit the admit button. Perfect. So while we're doing those windshield wipers, just keep it nice and easy. And remember, tonight when we're stretching, nothing is forced. It's all relaxing, controlled, calm. We want to be able to breathe through everything that we do tonight, guys. All right. So from here, we're actually going to get onto our hands and knees in the quadruped position. We're going to start with those wrists. Maybe some of us have desk jobs, we've been typing, maybe you work with your hands a lot. So we're going to come onto those hands and knees. To start this stretch, palms are going to go out in front of you. This is a fun one. You're going to twist those fingers down. We're going to bring them to the ground. So those fingers are going to be towards your knees and your thighs if you have that rotational capability right here. So from the front view, that way you can get a little perspective here. My palms are towards my knees. I'm just going to very, very gently lean back. Not much at all, but my bottom's going to start to go back a little bit to make a stretch happen in our wrists right here. You can rock back to front, very small, but very gentle. Good. In just a second, we're going to do just a little hold towards the back. Now, get in that nice stretch position of that wrist. We're going to hold for about 20 seconds right here. So take a big, deep breath. Just relax into that wrist stretch. You've got about 8 more seconds here. Last 5, 2, and 1. Come back, sit on those feet. If you've got that capability, you can be on your knees right here if that's more comfortable. Maybe roll those wrists out a little bit. All right, so now we've stretched the underside and the palms. Now we're going to get the top of those wrists. So this time you're going to take the top of your hand and place it on the ground. Those elbows have a nice big bend to them. So we're still on our Hands and knees in that quadruped position, elbows bent. As you start to extend them, you'll feel that stretch in the forearm right here. Front view, let me give you guys a side view. So we got those bent elbows to start, and then you can extend for that forearm and wrist stretch. You can do a little gentle bend and extend if that feels good to move through the stretch. Good. Change my view so you can see if that's, if you want it more intense, back those knees up a little bit, bend those elbows, and then extend the elbows to straighten those arms. Good. We're going to hold for about 10 more seconds here. Feeling a nice stretch through the forearm and that wrist. Oh, got a few more to admit. You've got 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come on out of that stretch, you guys. Woo! Let's roll those wrists out. Oh my goodness. Thank you guys so much for joining. We've got a few more that just joined class. So we just did a little wrist stretch to get
that on their foreheads.
in. You can do a wrist roll right here with us. Get it rocking and rolling. Welcome, everybody. I'm so glad you're here. We're going to do most of our stretches on the ground. So if you're just now joining us, make sure you find a comfortable space to do some stretches. All right, so we were on our hands and knees. We're going to come back onto our bottoms for this next section of stretching. So those of you that just started, our assessment is what we call windshield wipers. This is where we're going to begin this evening to see how tight our hips are. So you can join us on the ground. We're going to check in with a little bit of these windshield wipers. Knees are bent, heels on the ground, and we're just doing that internal and external rotation of the legs. Something comfortable, not forced right here. Good. Oh, there's so many of you guys. All right, so now we're going to go into the next portion of stretching. So this is going to be what's called a 90-90 position, and you can do this in whatever form looks comfortable. We all are going to look a little different. So you're going to bring one leg in front of you, that knee bent at a 90-degree angle. You got that other leg right here out to the side, a gentle bend at that 90-degree angle. Yours might be a nice wide 90-90. It may be a nice tight 90-90. Whatever is going to be most comfortable for those hips. Once you're in this position, we're going to do a glute stretch on the leg that's in front of us. So if you want to tighten it up, this can kind of resemble like a pigeon pose a little bit right here with that bent knee. Whatever's comfortable for your hips and your ankles and your knees. All right, everybody. Hands are going to be on either side of that knee that's in front of you. I'm going to back up a little so y'all can see. So my hands are on either side of that knee. I'm going to sit up nice and tall like I'm being pulled by a string. Good. Deep breath in. As we exhale, we're going to drop that chest down towards our knee. Those elbows bend. And we're just come down nice and gently as far as it's comfortable that you can go. When you're ready, you come right back up to that starting position. Maybe you felt that little stretch on that glute of the leg that's in front of you. If not, we're going a little deeper right here. Big deep breath in. Injure 2 men with a knife. Big exhale and just drop your chest down towards that knee. Beautiful job, you guys. Spend their time in prison. And then we're going to come back up to that starting position. Wonderful. We're going to do that 2 more times. Big breath in, nice and tall. Exhale and fall forward. Good job, y'all. I read this a couple nights ago. I have 2 sons. I was hold at the bottom for just a second. And then you're going to gently rise back up. Beautiful. Got another breath. Make sure you take that big breath in. We're going to do 1 more right here. So you're in that 90-90 position. Last time on the leg that's in front of us. Big breath in. And exhale down. Good job, you guys.
He came up from behind you, and the knife was
wonderful. We're going to come back up. We're going to give that leg a break, and we're going to come down onto our elbows. So now you're going to start to feel a tiny stretch in our side body right here. Bring that arm up overhead. Big reach with those fingertips. And we're going to take that arm over our head for a lateral side body stretch. Good. We're holding this for about 25 more seconds. Big breath in. Lovely exhale. Maybe you can just reach a little bit further with those fingertips. Good job. We've got about 10 more seconds here. Taking that big breath. At least one more right here.
Turns out,
Just nice, big exhale. Woo. Good. You can come up from that a little bit. Go onto that hand. Now we're going to do what we call a thread the needle. I'm going to adjust my angle so you can see what I'm talking about. All right, from here, you're going to take that arm that was once overhead, and we're going to loop it through between the elbow and the hip. So just a gentle back twist right here. Very, very gentle. We only go as far as our body allows. If you want, you can do another reach up at the top. Big inhale with that reach. Lovely exhale as we do a nice, gentle twist. Beautiful.
So he had a long wrap sheet.
We're going to hold here.
And
just a reminder, if you've got your mic on, I would recommend turning it off so that everyone can hear me while I'm chit-chatting. You're welcome to have music on or anything you would like, but I just ask that you turn the mic off. Thanks, guys. Good. We're going to do one more big reach up. Last time, we'll just thread the needle. Loop that hand through. Final hold right here. You can even come down a little deeper if that's available to you. I'm going to adjust my angle so you can see what I'm doing because we'll do the same thing on the other side. Good. And back to that starting position. All right, so from here, we're going to get into our hip or back down on that elbow, just like we did that lateral stretch. Instead of the leg in front of us, we're working that back leg now. So you're going to take your elbow and you're actually going to scoot it behind you just a tiny bit so that we're opening up the front of that body. And remember, that 90-90 can look different in the positions you are. Maybe it's a little bit of a wider leg that's in front of you or a little tighter. It's okay. We're all going to look different in a stretch right here. So we want to get a little deeper into this hip. You're going to inhale, nice and tall, pushing into that elbow on the ground. Hand can be in front of you for support. As you exhale, lean back just a little bit to get a nice stretch opening that body. If you want a little bit more, you just walk that elbow back behind you. So maybe you take it back another inch to open up that hip right here. Big breath in, sitting up nice and tall. Gentle lean back of that head, neck, and chest. We're going to hold this for about 15 more seconds, opening up that hip. Maybe you bring that arm up overhead if it just feels good to open up the body. You've got 5, 3, and 1. Taking it down. Good job, you guys. All right, let's come back up. Woo! We're going to switch those legs. Oh, man. All right, so now it doesn't matter which side you started with, left or right. I didn't tell you which one you had to do because we're just going to switch right here. We didn't have to remember. Just switch the leg that was in front. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So now we're back to that glute stretch. So we're going to put our hands on either side of that knee that's in front of us. Good. We're going to inhale, sit up nice and tall like we're being pulled by a string. As we exhale, we fall forward just as far as we can go to feel a nice stretch on the glute of the leg in front of us. That's that booty cheek right on the leg in front of us. Big breath in as we go back to the top. Woo, we're gonna exhale as you finish that inhale and come on back down. See if we can go a little deeper this time. Maybe one side you feel it a little more than the other. That's okay. We're not gonna judge our bodies. We're just gonna listen to them tonight. We're gonna come back to that starting position. If you remember, we did this 4 times on the other side, so we've got 2 more to go right here. Big breath in at the top. Exhale, just fall back down again. Maybe get a little bit of a deeper stretch down your spine. Good. When you get down as far as is comfortable for you, we're going to raise back up to that starting position one final time. Good job, y'all. Big breath in. And gentle exhale as you just fall forward. Those eyes closed or open, doesn't matter. We're just here to relax.
Noted.
Good job, everybody. Come back to that starting position when you're ready. We're going to go on to our elbow for that lateral stretch. So that means that opposite arm's coming up overhead and gently falls overhead. Good job. Big reach of those fingertips to open up that side body. We're going to hold this for about 20 more seconds for a 30-second hold total. Take a big deep breath right here. Fill that lung up, the left side of the lungs or the right side, whichever one you're on. Ooh, big reach of those fingertips right here. Last big breath. And gentle exhale. Woo! All right, we're going to do that. Thread the needle on this side. So you can come up onto that hand so you have a little bit more mobility in the spine. Opposite arm comes up again, and then we're going to thread it between the hip and the elbow. So that gentle back twist. Y'all keep doing it. I'm going to adjust my positioning so you can keep seeing what I'm talking about. Throwing that gentle twist. We're just holding it right here for about 5 more seconds. And bring that arm back up overhead. We're going to thread that needle again. So when you're ready, take that hand. We're bringing it back between the hip and the elbow. Maybe get a little bit of a bigger stretch here. Looking good, y'all. Good. We're going to hold this for about 5 more seconds, and we'll do this one more time. Bring it back to that starting position. Arm up overhead. Last thread the needle right here. We're going to bring that hand back through. Maybe you get a little bit bigger and deeper into this stretch. And make sure you take a big inhale and exhale right here, breathing into that back. Woo, good job, y'all. You can let out an audible exhale if it feels good. Ooh, so nice. All right, let's come out of that stretch. All right, everybody. So now from here, we're going to go on to our backs. This is the easy part, everyone. We just get to lay here for a second. All right. Knees are bent, flat on the ground. And what we want is for a nice flat back on the ground. From here, you can rest those hands on your stomach or at your side, whatever feels good. And we're going to take a couple of deep breaths to really fill up those lungs. When you're ready, just a big, deep inhale. Filling those lungs up, and then a lovely exhale, just releasing and letting everything go. Another big inhale when you're ready. Breathing in, feeling that back firmly on the ground. And then that releasing exhale as you just let everything go. Good. From here, we're going to do a little more with the glutes and our hips. So this is called a figure 4 stretch. Some of y'all may be familiar with it. We're going to do it from our backs. Your right leg is going to come up. That right ankle is going to rest on the left hip right here. And it makes kind of a figure four looking. That's it. Yeah, I knew you guys would get it. From here, if it's available to you, you can push that knee away to add a little bit of lengthening into that inner thigh and that hip. And you're just staying here for about 20 more seconds for that 30-second hold. So breathe into it, relax into that stretch. We're just gonna let all that tension go and melt into the floor right here. And then if we want to get into that glute a little bit more, you can take your hands, grab the opposite thigh, and gently pull it towards you. It doesn't have to be very big. I'm going to adjust my angle so y'all can see. It can be a very, very small, gentle pull. My foot's barely off the ground right here. I got to work into this hip a little bit. Deep breath in. As you exhale, maybe you can pull it a little closer towards you, but don't force anything. Pain is not gain when we're stretching. We're holding for about 10 more seconds. Big breath in. Releasing, exhale, gently pull a little closer for 5, 3, and 1. You can let that one go. Woo. Maybe you gotta wiggle those knees a little bit. I like to shake it out a little right here. Good job, everybody. All right, we're gonna do the same thing, just with the opposite leg. So if you did the opposite one of what I said, don't worry. We're just doing the same stretch, but switch the leg that was across. So if you followed me, it's gonna be that left ankle across that right thigh. And remember, we're just gonna lay here for a moment before we bring that knee in. So if you want to, you can take that hand and push the knee away to increase a little bit of length of that inner thigh and the hip right there. We're just going to breathe for another about 23 seconds and melt into this stretch, everybody. We're just taking a moment out of our day for ourselves to relax, to give ourselves a moment to just reset. No matter what's going on, you get to have this moment for you. So take a big deep breath right here. And just exhale out any tension, any thoughts. We're just clearing the minds. Good. All right, we're going to bring that knee in for a little bit of a glute stretch. So if it's available to you, you're going to grab that opposite leg. You can see my left glute stretches a lot better than the right one. My right foot is way further off the ground than when we did that other side. That's okay. There's no judgment here. I'm just noticing some things in my body. Same for you. Do you notice that one glute is easier to stretch than the other? Is it easier to grab the thigh of one leg over the other? Doesn't matter either way. We just want to notice these things so that we can pay attention to balancing the body over time. Good. We're going to let that go after one more deep breath. Big exhale and let that stretch go. Woo. All right, we've got a few more stretches to melt everything away. So for this next one, we're going to roll onto our sides. So I'm going to come onto my right side because that keeps me facing you guys. From here, if you've got a pillow to put under your head, this is a great opportunity for it. If not, and your neck's comfortable, then you're going to look like me and we're just going to hang out like this. All right, arms are going to go in front of you. So those hands are together. Back up so you guys can see my arms. There we go. All right, so those hands are together. We're going to draw circles overhead. So you're going to take the arm that's on top. For me, that's that left hand. And we're going to start to take it overhead. My goal is for my fingertips to stay on the ground as long as I can get them to. As you go past your ear, your palm is going to turn up towards the ceiling. Keep that reach, but that palm is now flipped up. And we're going to take that arm back behind us. So you're going to open up the chest, maybe open up the bicep, the palm of the hand. We're continuing that circle. Your palm will flip back towards the ground as you come over your hip and your butt and the thighs. Good. We come right back to the starting position with those hands together. From here, move at your own pace, but continue that overhead circle. So we're moving nice and controlled. Those fingertips stay on the ground as long as that's available to you. Big reach. Don't forget, you can't let go of that reach. You want to keep the stretch going. Palm turns towards the ceiling as you go past the ear. Big, maybe chest opener, getting into that shoulder in the front right here. It's okay if you have gentle creaks and pops. We just don't ever want pain. We're going to go one more time, or maybe you're moving a little faster and you get two more. That's okay. It's a great thing about these dynamic stretches is that you can move at your own pace. Good. Bringing it back around, that palms towards the ceiling as you move past your ears. It turns back towards the floor as you go over your thigh. Beautiful. Now from here, we're going to do what's called a book opener. So you're going to slide that left hand. If you're still laying on your right side, left hand's on top. You're going to slide that hand across the arm. This is a very gentle back twist. So you're going to take that hand and bring it across to open up the chest right here. Knees and thighs try to stay in the same place and just open up that spine and that chest. Take a big deep breath here. We don't force anything. We just gently allow our body into that stretch. Good. You got about 5 more seconds. And 1. Come on back to that starting position. Good job, everybody. From here, you're going to roll onto the other side to do those arm circles. I'm just going to do a little flip around so that I can still keep my eye on the screen. All right. Now, if you're following along, we're on the left side of our body. Our right arm is going to be the one that's out in front and on top. So left arm's on the bottom, right arm's on top. Our neck has a little, our head has some pillow support if you got it. If not, we're just going to allow that to relax on the ground. Arm circles are going to start again. So this time that that right arm is going to start to reach up overhead. Fingertips stay on the ground as long as that's available to you. When you start to pass your ear, your palm is going to flip up towards the ceiling. Good job. Big reach, opening up that chest. Maybe feel a little bit of the armpit in this one too. We're bringing that arm back around for the circle. As you get towards the hip, you're going to turn that palm back towards the ground to meet your hand. Nice. We're going to do this at our own pace. So big breath in. As you exhale, start that circle again. Big reach of those fingertips, getting into the lats right here. Palm flips as you go past the ear, getting into that armpit, a little bit of a stretch. We get a chest opener right here. Finishing out that circle, that palm will turn towards the ground as you come across the hips. Slowly making our way back to that starting position. You're moving at your own pace. I'm going to do one more right here. If you're moving faster than me, you may get another one. Or we're going to just move nice, slow, and control. Don't forget to breathe. Take a moment for yourself right here. Letting tension go in those shoulders. Palm faces the ground as we move back over our hips to that starting position. Beautiful. We've got another book opener here. So that right hand is going to slide across that left. Nice big book opener, gentle back twist. Maybe on this side, your hand actually hits the ground. I don't know. When I did it the other way, that one didn't want to come down, but this one's doing better. Once again, we're just noticing little things in our body. That's all. Big deep breath. Lovely exhale, letting that tension go. You got 5 more seconds here. We're going to come back to that starting position. 2 and 1. Let's come back to that starting position, you guys. Good. From here, we're going to get back onto our hands and knees, and we're going to go into a child's pose. So we're going to get on our hands and knees. Woo. Big breath in while we're here. As you exhale, you're going to sink back onto those heels. So I've got my feet together, my knees are apart, and I'm going to sink back onto my heels as my hands outstretch in front of me. This is a child's pose in yoga. I'm just going to adjust my position, stay where you're at. So if you're watching me and you're not sure what you're doing, I'm going to adjust that angle. So we're sinking back into that child's pose. It's going to open up the armpits again. We're going to get in that low back, a nice stretch in that low back. So your forehead is going to rest on the ground. I'm going to keep looking up so I can talk to you guys. So you're going to take a big breath into that back. Big exhale. See if that chest will drop a little closer to the ground. Beautiful. We're just sinking into this stretch. You got about 15 more seconds here. Just letting the day go. Allowing that back to stretch out. You've got 3, 2, and 1. Good. So now we're going to go into what's called a down dog position. So our feet are going to be nice and firm on the ground. Those toes are curled underneath us so that we can get into that position. Hands out in front. We're going to bring our hips up overhead. Booties in the air as high as you can get them. And then you're going to sink back onto those heels. So feeling a deep, deep calf stretch. You can even have a little bend in those knees if that is most comfortable for you. You're going to push through the hands so that chest pushes between the arms. Head is between the elbows if that's available for you. And you're sinking back into those heels. Big, deep stretch right here. Inhale, exhale, and sink back into those heels. We're going to take this into a world's greatest stretch. So from here, that right leg is going to come up. That right foot is going to come up to the right hand. So this is a typical like runner's lunge position. So this is a world's greatest stretch. We're going to bring that foot and hand together. From here, that right arm goes up overhead. You got it. That gentle back twist again. And then we bring it back down. Great job. We're going to do that one more time. Right arm goes up in the air if that's available to you. And then it comes right back down. You're going to bring that left knee on the ground. And we're going to just hold this runner's lunge for about 10 more seconds. Big deep breath. If you want, you can walk that foot forward a little bit more. Good. We're just sinking into those hips, feeling a nice stretch on the front and the back right here. 3, 2, and 1. We're going to come into a hamstring stretch. So that right leg that's in the front is going to straighten out. That left knee is bent. You may need to walk that foot in just a little bit more so that you've got a straight line from your ankle to your knee to your hip out in front of you. Stay where you're at. I'm just going to change my position so you guys can see what I'm talking about. Nice. I've got a straight line from the toe, ankle, knee into that hip. I'm not out wide. I'm right out here in front. From here, we're just going to sink our chest down towards that knee. Ooh, feeling a deep stretch in that hamstring, maybe in that glute. You can walk those hands up a little more in front of you to frame that ankle instead. Another deep breath in. Big exhale. Ooh, and you're going to just fall that chest forward for a deep, deep hamstring stretch. We're holding here for about 10 more seconds. You got 5, 3, and 1. All right. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. You've changed my position so you can see. So we're on those hands and knees right here. We're going to go back to that down dog so we can do the runner's lunge on the other side. So toes curl underneath, palms dig into the ground, booty goes up towards the ceiling, and we sink back into those heels. Another down dog. Our head comes between the elbows if that's available to us. Deep breath in. Sink a little further onto those heels, and then that left foot is now going to come up to meet that left hand. So we're in the world's greatest stretch position, but on the other side. So from here, we're going to take that left arm up overhead. Big reach. And then you bring it back down. We're going to do that one more time. That left arm goes up overhead for a gentle back twist. And then we bring it back down. From here, that right knee drops onto the ground, and we're holding this runner's lunge for just a moment. Good. Big deep breath, opening up the front of that hip. Maybe you can sink a little more. That right hip's opening up. That back of the left hip's opening up. What about 3, 2, and hamstring stretch time. All right, so now that left leg is in front of us. We're going to make sure that ankle, knee, and hip are in line. We're not still wide out to the side like we are in a world's greatest stretch. You can walk those hands a little closer to the ankle if that's comfortable. They can hang out here by the knee or even further up if we need. You guys, I should have said this in the beginning. I always encourage, if you've got like a couch or an ottoman or something that you need to stabilize yourself on, that is a-okay. This is not strength training. We're stretching. We can use the assistance right here. All right, big deep breath in and exhale. We're just sinking into that hamstring stretch. I have to do audible exhales with the hamstrings because these ones get to me. All right, big breath in. And just sink a little further into that hamstring stretch. Maybe your chest gets a little closer to the knee right here. You've got about 10 more seconds. We can do this, guys. 3, 2, and 1. Let's come on out of that. All right, guys, we're going to come back onto our booties. Those hamstrings aren't done yet. All right, so from here, those legs are going to go out in front of us. Our arms are going to go up nice and high. And we're going to reach for those toes. Big reach for the toes. If you've got it, you can grab those feet around the sides or the top, whatever's comfortable. If that's not available to you, you're going to reach for the ankles, the calves, the knees, whatever you have got available for your hamstring and back stretch right here. You can back off a little bit, take a big inhale, exhale, And just fall forward a little bit further. You got about 15 more seconds to sink into the stretch. Maybe you can reach a little bit further. Are we closer to reaching those toes? Good. You got about 5 more seconds right here. 3, 2, and 1. From here, we're going to get our adductors, those inner thighs. You stay where you're at. I'm going to adjust. So we're going to open up those legs. So we've got them out to the side as far as is comfortable for you. Remember, pain is not gain when we're stretching. So from here, you're going to get a great inner thigh stretch. But what we also want to continue is a great low back stretch. So those hands come out in front of you, and you're just going to walk those fingers forward. Walk or slide, whatever works for you. And we're going to reach as far as we can comfortably. Good. Now, if you notice, my feet are wanting to internally rotate. I want you to try to fight that feeling of your feet falling forward. Some of us are going to have to do it because that's what's available to us. That's okay. But we want to try our best not to compensate if we can. Sink a little further into that stretch. You got about 10 more seconds here. You got 3, 2, and 1. We're gonna come on out of that stretch. Awesome job. All right, guys. From here, we're gonna go back to those windshield wipers. So we're still on our bum. Our feet are out in front of us, but now our knees are bent. Maybe our feet are just a little bit wider than those first round of windshield wipers. Hands come back behind you, and we just drop those knees a little side to side. All right, how does it feel this time? Maybe you've got a little more fluidity in the movement, ease of the movement. Maybe you feel less tension in certain parts. Maybe you've also stretched out some areas that have now highlighted more tension in other areas that you can pay attention to the rest of this week. I love it, everybody. So once again, just to remind you what windshield wipers are, we're just checking that internal and external rotation of the leg. So we've got that internal rotation of the femur, and then we've got that external rotation, movement of the hip joint. Good. So from here, we're just going to sit up nice and tall. You can be cross-legged. Your feet can come out in front of you. And we're just going to finish class with a couple of deep breaths together. You can close your eyes. You can keep them open, whatever's comfortable for you. I'm going to close mine and just tune into my body and just allow all that tension to reset and relax for a new day tomorrow. Big breath in. Lovely exhale. You can have an audible exhale. It can be a quiet exhale, whatever you need on this beautiful Wednesday night. We're going to do one more together. Big breath in. And big exhale. Woo! Thank you guys so much for joining me on this stretch session. Thank you so much to Survivor Fitness for sponsoring this. You guys, they are an amazing organization. I know a lot of you already know about them, but for those of you that don't, Survivor Fitness supports cancer survivors with personal training. They also have stuff with BetterHelp for the mental health side of things and do some nutrition support as well. So please check them out. They do take donations. They have all kinds of fun fundraisers. So you can check out Survivor Fitness. .org, I believe is the website, or Survivor Fitness Foundation. You can Google that and I'm sure they pop right up. All right, you guys, thank you so much for joining. My name is Tori Thomas. I'm a T3 training and stretch. I am a fascia stretch therapy specialist. I appreciate you all coming tonight, and I can't wait to see you again for another stretch therapy class, hopefully soon. Bye, you all. Thank you so much for coming. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Bye, guys. I love just seeing all these familiar
Thank
faces
you.
so much. This was so fun, everybody. Yay! Oh, I love it. Hi, guys. Oh, there's some of my familiar faces. Hi, what's up, everybody? Oh, thank you so much for joining. That was so fun. All right. Have a great night, everyone. I've got to go home and feed my dog.